Hello everybody, welcome to stream number 3 of the Pixel Perfect Path to Affiliate mini-series. My name is Nick RP Green, I am going to be your host for this evening. We are very, very close to hitting affiliate status on Twitch. We just needed 5 more days of streams. So that means 5 mini streams of content for you from our wonderful community. We are kicking off tonight. This is our completion stream. So every run tonight will have some sort of theme around like 100% or completing the whole of something more than just any percent. And we have got Organ Mike returning from PPM3 back with Ultima 4 Quest of the Avatar. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Nick. It's a pleasure to be back. So I ran Quest of the Avatar for PPM3. I ran the Paragon version, which was I did everything right. I did not lose a single point of virtue. We're not doing that today. Today we're going to be slightly more devious, especially at the start of the run. We're going to be punching guards in the face. We're going to be robbing blind ladies. It's going to be fantastic. I promise you it'll be a good time. Anyway, for those who don't know the purpose of Quest of the Avatar, you are to become the Avatar for Britannia. There is no overall evil to fight. You are to fight the evil within yourself. Yeah, this is not very Paragon at all. I have chat up so I can keep an eye on you. Anyway, before we do get into that any further, I would like to acknowledge that where I stand, where I live, work, and play is Treaty 1 territory, the traditional homeland of the Anishinaabe, Anishinaabe, Oji Cree, Dakota, and Dene peoples, and at the heart of the Red River Métis Nation, and I wish to acknowledge the harms that colonialism has done and continues to do to these people, and hope that my work in some way contributes to reconciliation. Which, I mean, is what I'm going to try to do here, I suppose? Not a very good segue. Whatever the case, here I am. Welcome to my kitchen. And we're going to chat if you're with me here. Let's get a name. I need a name for an avatar. So this game is very heavily packed. The first 15 minutes or so, I'm going to be constantly doing things. By what name shalt thou be known in this world and time? Zack it is. Art thou male or female? Zack feels like a male character to me. When I press M for male, the timer will begin. So here we go. 3, 2, 1, let's go. I'm going to hold the spacebar down. We're going to skip past the introduction as quickly as we can. The gist of it is, you go out walking in the woods because you're tired of modern life. And things are getting tough. And you sit down by a tree and suddenly you see a great big portal open up and there's a couple things there, a couple books wrapped in a cloth map, and an ankh, which you put around your neck. You read the history of Britannia. The other one is the Book of Mystic Wisdom, which is covered in runes, and you don't dare touch it, although you will, because that's where your spellbook is. Those are actually things that you would get with the game. There's a Ren Fair going on over the hill, and at the far side of the Ren Fair, there's a wagon, and then you enter, and the old traveler inside decides to give you a fortune. She's going to ask us a bunch of questions. We're going to answer honesty when we can. Ooh, and I lose spirituality. This is a single elimination, so anything I answer and I don't pick doesn't carry on to the next round. So we're going to take valor over justice. These are the 8 virtues of the Avatar. I need to get all of these values up to 99 in the game's systems. So, they're honesty, compassion, valor, justice, sacrifice, honor, spirituality, and humility. And I have not a bad range to start. I like to get spirituality. Valor versus justice, or sacrifice, we're going to take valor. And this will be honesty versus compassion. And the last one will be honesty versus valor, which is fine. We'll take honesty because that's what chooses our character class, which in this case will be the mage. The mage has the most spell points and gives us the best start to the game. So off we go. The path is chosen. You wake up, and here's the world of Britannia. Well, I mean, here's the display. We go right in there. We turn off the volume, so those are the last sounds you'll hear from the game. I'm going to search here for the Rune of Honesty. I'm going to steal the money. This is not an honest thing to do. There's a whole bunch more money over here. We're going to take that, too. Funny, people don't actually get upset if you take their money. It's like any other RPG, right? If you go into a place and take the money that's just lying around, they're okay with that. Yes, we do need reagents. This is how we make spells. Now, Margot, the herbalist, is blind, so she asks how much we pay. We'll pay 1 gold piece. She can't see how much we're paying, so this is perfectly fine. Right? So, this actually will tank our values of honesty, justice, and honor. Everything we've done so far will. We're done here. We're going to mix some blink spells. Bed, 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 bed. Good. We're going to mix a couple heals just in case. And a couple cure spells just in case. And we're going to be on our way. Blink lets us move very quickly across the overworld, like so. And cross bodies of water, for example, like so. And this is forest, where we can't see where we're going. Check my magic points, make sure I've got enough. We don't, so we're going to pass a few turns. Oh, I ran into some enemies. This is what combat looks like. And while I only have a staff, this is a couple orcs. It's actually a pretty dangerous encounter. There we go, blink back. And this is the town of, our village of Vesper. Here's where we're going to get a sling. You never thought people would speedrun games like these. My friend, this is all I do. I want 1 sling, yes, and I want some flaming oil. I need 20 of those. I call it Reaper Killer, and hopefully you won't have to see why I call it Reaper Killer. It's a preventative measure. Hey, we need the guild shop. We need to purchase some magic gems. We're going to buy 2 sets of magic gems and 2 sets of magic keys. We really only need 1 of each, but I'm being thorough just in case. This tinker is in my way, so I'm going to attack it and run away. This will make the guards mad. I'm going to run away from them too. I'm going to steal all this. I'll explain the whole mechanic of running away from guards in a bit. But that's a whole thing we're going to be doing. But since we've started the fight, we're going to run away from all the guards. Okay, the other guards are over here. Don't have to leave the way I came in, but I want to run away from all the guards. It's actually good for me. I don't know where the other guards have gone. There should be more than that. That's all right. We'll just move along. We'll zip over here. And this little patch of dirt, that's swampland. And that is where mandrake grows. But mandrake only grows when the 2 moons are new. If you look at the top of the screen, you'll see two phases of the moon that are constantly shifting. They move in real time, much like the wind direction at the bottom. So while I'm mixing spells here, if I want to cast a spell, I have to mix it first. I also need the required amount of magic points. So while I'm mixing spells, the moons are going to be shifting. And as I go about this, mixing heals right now, Buck and Dave even, he queried quickness spells, which are very useful. I'll use about 20 of them. I will use more of them if I actually type in the reagents right. If you type them in wrong, it just doesn't work. You lose the reagents you tried to mix. Quicknesses, I need some exits. For an instant leaving of the dungeon, some downs. They didn't have enough places left on the alphabet. There are 26 spells, 1 for every letter of the alphabet. So they had to add a couple in there. Y up, Z down. Exits queried wins. Undead UAC a couple times. Don't use it very much. And a couple of fireballs just to be safe. I mean, I've got the time to spend. I need the moons to cycle around anyway. I've got enough dispels. I need some more cures. There's a whole system, and the Book of Mystic Wisdom tells you a lot about how to mix these spells. Okay, now when it reaches new moons, I will search for mandrake. You see I got poisoned. I can find new mandrake every 16 steps. There we go. We're done there. We're going to cure poison. We're going to heal a bit, and we're going to head up this way. We're going to head over towards a moon gate. There's a moon gate that's going to open right there. Make sure I've got everything I need. I'm going to need some more heals. Spider silk is a very important reagent. We're going to mix some more gate travel, or some gate travel spells. That's the fastest way to get around. The gate travel accesses the moon gates and gets us places very quickly. The moon gates are 8 interconnected, basically fast travel hubs. So you'll see when I step into the moon gate, which is going to open 1 step directly south of me, I will be teleported to another part of the world instantly. Now, there's only 8 of them. The first moon determines where it opens, which is why I had to wait for the second moon to come around. The second moon determines where it ends up. This is another spot I can pick up Mandrake. Mandrake is an ultra-powerful reagent, which is useful for the gate travel spell. It's also useful for the tremor spell. Those are the two most powerful spells I'm going to be using in the game. Let's see, anything else I can mix here? I could mix 10 more fireballs just to be safe. Oops. G, thank you. Why not? I'm going to be refilling those reagents in just a moment. Because I need more. Okay, good. All right, and we're going to find more Mandrake here. Again, every 16 steps I can get new Mandrake. And that's not actually, it doesn't actually count 16 steps. It waits until the next 16 counter. This is the Village of Paws. This is where you can buy a horse. I'm going to buy a horse. Yes, 100 gold. Yell giddy up, and the horse now moves 2 steps every time I press a directional button. I'm going up here. I need to talk to Sheila, who is also blind, conveniently enough. I'm not going to refill my garlic at the moment. I have a reason for that. Hey, and I'm going to mix some more bed. It's common for our watchers to just type bed along with us in the chat. So if you want to put a whole bunch of beds in there, that's great. Yeah, we'll just get a whole bunch. Blink is the fastest way to get around other than the moon gates, so we use a lot of them. Want to make sure not to accidentally press H and start wasting Mandrake. $16 ought to do. Anything else I need? Nope, we're all clear. So we're going to talk here. We're going to refill our reagents again. Accept our garlic. And what I'm going to do is pay full price for garlic. And this, every time I pay full price for garlic and not cheat the blind lady, it will recover my honesty and justice and honor by 2 points every time. I need to get them from 1, which is where they bottom out, up to 99. Conveniently, I need to purchase 49 of them to max out my garlic. So I use my garlic as a counter. So I'll know when I've got 99 garlic that I've done it. And I can do a quick check on my virtues. Now to find out. So this is the 8 virtues in numerical form. That first 99 is 99 honesty, and that's great. They're all 2-digit numbers in there. And down here is where we'll find the Rune of Humility, and we are done in pause. We're going to blink to the west. We're going to ride a fair distance to the west. We're going to blink to the west again. We're going to go 2 steps this way. We're going to head south. I'm going to need to go 1 step over, because there we are. Blink south. And this is where we find the Silver Horn. Now we've got that. We're going to come over here. We'll need that Silver Horn later. We're going to leave our horse outside the dungeon. This is the Dungeon Death Star. 2 steps east, 2 steps north, descend. And we're going to cast down spells till we reach level 7. Then we'll use the Ignite Torch command. That's a gremlin I don't want to fight. I'm going to have to. Yeah. Okay, now we're dealing with... it's going to steal my food. I'm going to run away. That's going to cost me. It says battle is lost. That costs me some valor. That's okay. I'll deal with that later. Insects are not evil. I will be fighting them in a moment. Oop. Non-evil creatures I don't have to worry about running away from, like the guards. Okay, they're running away from me. I'm not going to bother with them. We're going to go down to the bottom floor. I need to go through... Oh, that's a Reaper. We don't have to fight it. It's not in my way. I can go through here and into here. Head through this windy corridor. That is a Reaper that is in my way. Reapers can present a problem because they can put me to sleep. And if I get put to sleep, I may get killed. However, as you can tell, they're giant trees, which means that when you set them on fire, they just stand there and take it. All right, we're going to cast a quickness spell, and we're going to quickly move over here. Quickness! Every time you take a turn gives you a 50-50 chance of getting an extra turn. That includes the extra turns you get from getting an extra turn. I landed in the wrong spot. The up and down spells randomly assign you locations. So we're going to heal a bit. This is where I want to be. We're going to cast Quickness. And we're in the Altar Room of Courage, which means we're going to go across. We want to go across this one. That's why I cast Quickness, to try and get more turns than the enemy does to get me across. Boom. Dungeon Shame. We're going to exit out of here. We're going to re-enter. We're going to cast the Z down spell. Go east as far as I can, south as far as I can. Spiders are not evil, so I can run away from them. Search. Go east as far as I can. Bats are not evil. I can run away from them too. Spiders remain not evil. South to the wall. East to the wall. Ghosts, on the other hand, are evil, and I will have to fight it or lose valor. I don't have to kill it, but I do have to fight it. And there's the purple stone. Exit and blink out. All right. We're going to come over here. We're going to go right to this spot and blink north. We're going to find the white stone there. Blink east. Come over this way. Blink north. And this is the Dungeon Despise. We're going to go east, south, south, west, south, and drink from the fountain. And then we are going to go Z down until we reach, we're going to need to mix at least one more, level 5. We're going to go south to the wall. We're going to go west 1, 2. Oh, no, east 1, 2. And that should put us right in the spot where I want to be. Yep, this is the room I want to be in. Rooms are different from combats. They can't affect your virtues at all. So I can just run right through here. No battle is lost. Search for the yellow stone. And we're going to check my stats. Dexterity 19. Okay, we're going to exit out. Yep. I need to mix another exit because I landed in the wrong spot. I'm going to cast Blink down. There we are. And we're going to go visit Lord British. So the game often tells you right at the start, tells you several times in the instruction manual, and oh yeah, we're going to punch a guard in the face. Tells you several times in the instruction manual, and tells you right when you start the game, if you listen to the old lady in the wagon, she tells you seek out your sovereign. That's Lord British. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll talk to Hawkwind the Seer. And now we will generate spirituality. Every time we talk to Hawkwind the Seer, we get 3 points of spirituality, provided that the hundreds digit of our step counter is different from the last time. So I'm looking for my food to roll over. We use 1 point of food per 100 steps. Well, use 1 point of food per party member per 100 steps. So I know anytime the food counter rolls over, I've gone 100 steps. It's supposed to be every time the step counter hits a 00 at the end, but that doesn't actually work out because of the way it manages getting into and out of combat. Anyway, why am I punching guards in the face and running from them? Well, guards are, as I said, not evil, so running away from them doesn't cost you valor. And because you're letting something that's not evil live by running away from it, you instead gain compassion and justice. You lose compassion and justice by starting the fight, but when you start a fight when you start a fight in a town with something that's not hostile, the guards turn hostile on you. So when I start the first fight, the guards all turn hostile and then come after me. Which means I don't have to start any more fights. They start them. So yeah, we're manipulating systems here. Punching guards in the face is not something I do on a Paragon run. But it's fine. Really. I said talk south, not just move south. Where are we at? 77. The second last pair of numbers there, 77. I need it to get to 90. Because I'll be getting 10 more points before I finish. So every time I talk to him, it's 3 more. So that's 80. Here comes 83. The other way to get spirituality is to go meditate at the shrines. It's something we have to do anyway. But the way we meditate, when you meditate to get your 8th part avatar status, it doesn't actually give you the points for the spirituality. So we found this was the best and fastest way. 2 more. So I'll do 1 more, and then I'll do a proper count in to come in just at the wire. So 252, talk. See how many more turns I gotta go. I don't want to go over 2400. 1, 2, 3, 4, talk south, and that should put us at 92. Good. The guards are still hostile, so these 5 up here are going to attack me. I'm just going to run away from them. Now, if I hadn't already put my honesty in its place where I want it, I could raid the castle treasury, but my honesty is where I want it, so I'm just going to find the Rune of Spirituality, which is okay to steal as opposed to all that money. And now, since we've gone upstairs to a new map, the guards aren't hostile anymore. We want to talk to them about being a guard, and they ask, are you the most valiant person? Now, one of the virtues we need to discuss is humility. And humility, well, you don't want to be overly pride and say, yes, you're the most valiant person. So you say no. Whenever you're asked a question that might affect your humility, say no. Anyway, we briefly talked to Lord British. He made us level 6, which means we now have a maximum hit points of 600. We should have 90 humility. We do. What's our yeah, good. We're good. All right. I don't need to go fight more guards. I do, however, need to come over here and go talk to the healer. In order to get sacrifice up, we have to give blood. Blood in this game is considered, or giving blood is like 100 points of 100 hit points. You can only give blood if you have more than 400 hit points. So we're going to give blood 6 times, which should put us at 85. Got it. Okay. I need to give blood once more. And I'm going to come through here. This guy tells us not to go on. I'm going to go on anyway. We're going to open the lock there and drop down into the dungeon Hithloth to the bottom floor. We're going to walk over here to the altar room of love, and we're going to leave to the east into the dungeon wrong, climb up, cast Y up, move back to the wall, move forward 1, 2, go through this room right here. If I walk straight down the middle, those energy fields will get taken down, and I have to fight the Hydras. There's a fountain there. There's a magical ball there, which gives me dexterity and intelligence, which is what I want. We're going to cast energy field in front of me and poison myself deliberately. When I'm poisoned, I can't be put to sleep by enemy magic, and when I come in here, there are 2 Reapers who would try to put me to sleep. They present a problem. As does that Gazer. If that Gazer uses sleep spells as well. Every time the screen flashes is one of the Reapers trying to use a sleep spell. If the Headlesses would get out of my way, that'd be great. I'm just going to run right through here, and we're out. 1, 2, drink, cure the poison, touch the magic ball. What am I at? 34. Darn. Okay, we're going to down. None left. We're going to mix 2's down spells, because I need to use 2 of them. I'm going to peer to gem. Nice landing. I'm going to grab that. We're going to down again. Peer to gem. Okay, fantastic landing. 1, we're going to cast a couple heal spells, make sure I've got enough magic points. We're going to change to the Reaper Killer. We're going to step in here, cast a Tremor, and we didn't kill the Zorn. The Zorn has a lot of hit points, and when the Zorn is in play, you can see this little N right here. Magic is negated, so I can't actually cast any spells while the Zorn is still in play. The rest of the slimes will run away, and that's fine. I'm going to dispel this. These are force fields. I can't actually move through them. I need to pass a bunch of turns to get my magic points back. We're going to re-equip the Reaper Killer. Step through here. We're going to get the green stone, step back in, and Tremor. And once more, I did not get the Zorn. So Tremor cuts quarters, roughly. Everything that can be affected, that is, has a low enough hit point count, and that by low enough, it's a pretty high hit point count. Oh, there's a Reaper. Could be in real trouble here because they're not poisoned. And we'll re-ready the sling, let the Reaper die. Anything that has a low enough hit point count to be affected will either be killed, or was it killed 1/4 of the time, reduced to a low enough hit point count to run away another half of the time. So this is the dungeon deceit. We're going to go over here. We're going to turn south, Falling Rocks, a pit. We're going to cast a Dispel spell in front of me. We're going to search for the blue stone and check my magic points. We're going to blink over here, and I get my first break of the run finally when I step into here and meditate on honesty. Whew. There we go. That's how the game starts. All right. So, to recap, we opened up, we got the Rune of Honesty, stole some money, bought ourselves a bunch of reagents, got ourselves some keys and some gems, and a sling and flaming oil, which I call Reaper Killer. We then went over, gathered some mandrake, bought a horse, got more reagents, and then boosted our honesty to its maximum level, which when I finish this chanting right here, will give me an 8th. I'll be a partial avatar in honesty. From there, we got a whole bunch more stuff done, but recaps can only last so long. We're going to cast Gate. Oh, I missed. My MP were too low. How are they now? Fantastic. Cast Gate phase 1. Check and see if I need to mix anything more. Once more, I need both moons to be new to get the black stone out of this spot. is in this exact place. We'll mix a few more wind changes, because sometimes I can use a lot of those. Yeah, right in this exact spot, we will search for the black stone. We'll blink north, come around here, and this is the Lyceum. What we're looking for here is the Book of Truth. And where are you going to find the Book of Truth? But in the library. Under T. There's the Book of Truth. That's all we need from here. The Book of Truth is worth 400 experience and is necessary to beat the game. Now we're going to gate travel to 8. This is where we wait for a boat. We need a pirate ship. This can take minutes. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. That's a storm. That's not good. That's a Nixie. That's not what I want. That's a storm. That storm is going to be annoying. The reason I save before I do this is because if that storm hangs... Well, I mean, the storm is going to hang around. It doesn't leave the area. But it also takes up one of the 4 slots for enemy generation. There's a pirate ship. Uh-oh. The storm is too close. Die. Come on. Thank you. I'm going to board that. I hate fighting on a ship, but I have to. So now you can see my gold has been replaced by ship hit points. Cast a wind change from the west. Go straight south from here. This is where we find the Bell of Courage, which is one of the other things, also worth 400 magic point or 400 experience points. We're going to come over here, and we're going to find one more item. The last thing we need both moons to be new for. And it is the Skull of the Wizard Mondain. So we found a couple runes. Runes are worth 100 experience. We found a bunch of stones. Stones are worth 200 experience. And we're finding some important magic items. The book, the bell, the candle, the horn, the skull, the wheel of the cape, which is a sunken ship, and the mystic arms and mystic armor are all worth 400 experience. So there's a grand total of 700 times 8, which is 5,600 experience, through just picking up items. This is important because we need level 8. The Skull of the Wizard Mondain. If you use it as an item, instantly destroys everything, every enemy on the map. It also tanks your... It takes 5 points off every one of your virtues. We do not want to do that. Instead, what we're going to do is use it in a very specific spot at the entrance to the Abyss, which will throw it into the Abyss and destroy it. Destroy the evil thing. But before we do that, we got to come over here and find the wheel of the cape, the HMS Cape. Right there. We're going to use it, which will change my ship's hit points to 99. And we're going to go park our ship. Going to park the boat right there. We're going to cast a gate travel spell, not get chest. We're going to cast a gate travel spell. Where am I going? I'm going to phase 2. I'm going to check and make sure I've got all my stones. I do. That's 8 stones to pick up. I've got them all. We're going to come in here. We're going to walk right past these guys because I don't need any more points. We are going to go get the 3-part key. Jimmy the lock, open it up. We're going to cast a couple heal spells before I go down. Then cast another one. Descend to level 8. Got poison, that's fine. We're going to cast a quickness. We're going to walk up here to the altar. We're going to use the stones. This is where we use yellow, green, orange, and white. And we leave back the way we came, back to the dungeon Hithlock. We go over here. We cast quickness. We go up here. We use the stones. They are blue, green, purple, and white. When we walk out this way, the altar rooms connect the 7 dungeons together. 2, 3, 4. Turn north. 1, 2. Cast quickness and go into the altar room of courage. We're going to use the stones red, orange, purple, and white. We're going to go down this time, back into Hithloth. We're going to check my status. We're going to exit out. We're going to curse my luck. We're going to heal a couple times. MP too low for a heal spell. There we go. Enter. We're going to go south 1, 2. We're going to find a stone here, which is going to hurt. Ah! But super important to get my dexterity up over 40. The way the game is programmed, if your dexterity is 40 or more, we're going to board the balloon here. We're going to cast a wind change spell from the south. We're going to climb, use skull, and drop it right there into the abyss. If your dexterity is 40 or more, shoot, you cannot miss. You cannot miss a standard attack because the game is programmed weird. 7, 8. If I don't use the horn, I'll show you what happens if I don't use the horn. Humility. 3 cycles. Whoa. I have to give credit where credit is due. Phoenix 4 came up with the idea of dropping the skull from the balloon, which requires that incredible precision typing. And I thought it would never work, and then he did it, and I thought I would never do it, and then I practiced it, and it works. Dropping the skull into the abyss like that gives me 10 points in every virtue, which we have found is the fastest way to get some of them up. Now we have to grind for valor. Every time I've taken a fight against evil creatures, there's been a 50-50 chance that I would get a point of valor. My valor started at 60, I think. I think my last question was valor. Every time you pick a virtue in the opening 5 question or opening 7 questions, it gives you. Yeah, I'm at 71. Okay, so if I walk south of the horn, we get attacked by demons. That's fine. I'm used to it. Every time you pick a virtue, it gives you 5 points in that virtue. So started with 65 honesty because we picked it 3 times. I started with 60 valor because I picked that twice. Didn't get to pick spirituality, so I only started with 50. Which is why I had to talk to Hawkwind quite that much. But that's all right. Random chance starts affecting the game almost immediately. But now, because my dexterity is over 40, because of the way this game is programmed, I can't miss. Anytime I make an attack, it does not miss. So, yeah, we grind on demons for a while. I'm looking for 2 things here. I'm looking to get my valor up. It was at 71. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Got to pull those out. My valor was at 71. It could be as high as 79 right now. After this set of 8 fights, it could be as high as 87. The next set be 95, so I've got to do 3 more fights at minimum before I check again. If I get super lucky in those 3 fights, or 3 sets of fights, then I could be done. But that's really unlikely, because every one of those is a 50-50 coin flip, right? So I'm going from 71 to 99. I'd have to get 28 coin flips to land my way out of 32, because I got to do 4 fights. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I need to pick up those treasure chests because of the way the game processes entities on the overworld. There are 24 slots in the overworld. Well, there's 32 slots for entities in the overworld. The first slot is for the party, I believe. I'm not sure. No, that's not true at all. The party is handled differently. The first 8 slots are for wandering monsters. If the first 4 of those slots are occupied, the game cannot generate more. But there's this instance right here where it generates 8 at a time, and another instance later where we come closing in on the abyss where it will generate 8 pirate ships. So there are calls for 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Come on, give me north. The horn prevents these attacks from happening. Anytime you step south, it checks to see if you're stepping south in these areas. Okay, so yeah, 8 monsters. The game also has 24 slots for other objects on the overworld. This includes treasure chests. This includes the horse that I bought earlier. This includes the balloon that I flew here on. And this includes pirate ships that I've captured. And when it fills up those 24 slots, well, first thing you need to know is that the balloon will always take up the top slot. So we want to leave either the horse, which I use the horse, but you could also do a random fight and leave a treasure chest on the map for the balloon to occupy that slot so it doesn't eat up your pirate ship, because it will. That's been a constant problem. Okay. But when those 24 slots fill up, then you have to contend with random chance. When it generates a new treasure chest from, say, a fight like this, it will either go to the bottom of the list, or if the bottom of the list is occupied, it will look for empty spots first. If it doesn't find any empty spots, it will randomly overwrite one of those slots, which could mean it overwrites your ship. You do not want it to overwrite your ship, because it can take a while to get a new one. There's been lots of cases where we've had to get new ships for one reason or another. It's annoying. We do not want that to happen. I'm hoping that this will at least get me fairly close because the moons are coming new. I cast a couple heal spells once in a while because I do not want to die here. Death is not the end of the game by any stretch. Okay, now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We'll do one more round. Death is not the end of the game. If you die, you get warped back to Lord Bridges' castle. Your food is set to 200. Your gold is set to 200. And you lose any unequipped weapons and armor you might have. I'm carrying around a load of flaming oil that is not equipped to me right now, so I would lose it all. But even then, if you did equip flaming oil, you can only equip one at a time. It just automatically pulls from the stock if you use it. So if you're equipped with flaming oil, you only get to keep the one you're equipped with, and all the rest of your flaming oil, is just gone. So I try not to death warp. One of the really interesting things about this, about the game, is the routing. Both Phoenix 4 and I have come up with completely different routes that run to within a couple minutes of one another. Actually, it's closer than that. All right, we'll gate to phase 3. Oh, I can't do phase 3 yet. Shoot. We will need to gate to phase 5. We're going to come down here. We're going to take on some trolls instead. Because I'm at 98 Valor, and it's not worth doing 8 fights to do 1 point of Valor. Check that. Did it do it? Nope. Get the chest. Trolls hide under bridges. And they apparently think I'm a goat. All right, whatever the case, we're going to come up here, and we're going to wait for the moons again. Stretch out. Take a quick water break. Check my experience. I need 4,700 experience. I've got 48. We're good. My Valor is in the right place if I check my virtues. So, Honesty is done already. It's 00. Compassion is at 92. That's fine. Valor at 99. Justice at 99. Sacrifice at 95. So I have to remember to visit a healer. That's Honor and Spirituality. And we're going to finish Spirituality soon. That is Humility at 00, which tells me that it is also done. You can see down here, Humility is done, as is Honesty. Those little lines will get fuller. This is the Shrine of Spirituality. Enter the shrine when both moons are new, or enter the moon gate when both moons are new, and you wind up here. The math of the moons is pretty straightforward. Every 3 seconds or so, the second moon moves forward 1 phase, and the first moon moves forward every third time that the second moon moves forward. So your moons start at phase 1 and 1, which are both new, 1 and 2, 1 and 3, and then you get 2 and 4, 2 and 5, 2 and 6. So anytime, like a full cycle of the moons, a full cycle of the second moon is, 3 times 8, 24 seconds, and the first moon is 72 seconds. So at most, if you're waiting for the moon gates, you're waiting just over a minute. Boom. Virtue of Spirituality, we're done there. We're going to blink over here. We're going to go into the town of Minok. We've not been to here before. We're going to go and get the Rune of Sacrifice. We're going to get this guy out of my way. Same way I get most people out of my way, by attacking them. And again, this will irritate the guards. They'll come after me. Zircon is usually the one who gets in my way. That's okay. We're going to run away from some guards. It's cool. This will get my compassion and justice back up to where they ought to be. The other thing it costs me is honor, and you regain honor by finding things. Like every rune you pick up, when you pick up Mandrake, every stone, every item. This is Julia. She'll join me. Now we've got a party. Your maximum party size, what you're required in the game to fill out the party. You've got to have 8 characters. So, but your maximum party size is equal to your current level. My current level is level 6. So I can only have 6 characters, including myself. Which is why we are required to reach level 8, which means we are required to get 6,400 experience, which is the threshold for level 8. We're meditating on sacrifice. The raven sees, the raven saw, and in the corn he saith, ha. Okay, work. This is the most restful time, because what we're going to do is go around to each of the shrines and become the 8 parts partial avatar. And once I do that, I can then find the Mystic Arms and Mystic Armor, which will finish up my experience growth. So the remaining runes I have to pick up are also worth some points. I haven't visited a healer yet. That's awesome. I said I had to visit a healer, and I haven't done it yet. Gate 3. We'll go down here. There's a healer here. It's fine. I also need to be here anyway. Yes, healing. 1. Yes. No, yes. There we go. That should take care of sacrifice. Unlock here. That's Max. He often gets in the way. This is Jeffrey. He'll join me. He's a fighter. We'll unlock this here. Go through here. I'm going to cast some Dispel. Normally I push my way through the guards in this one, but I didn't have to this time, and I had to go up to the healer anyway. There's the Rune of Valor. If you don't have the rune and you try to go in the appropriate shrine, it won't let you. It just says thou hast not the proper rune, or a mysterious force keeps you out. Hey, normally I push my way through those guards. I don't have any need to, so I'm not going to. Link south. You can only meditate every 100 steps as well, which by the game's logic means that the hundreds value of your step counter has to have changed. It's not that it counts 100 steps. Okay. Still have to do sacrifice. Keep that in the brain. Still have to do sacrifice. Here we go. Raw. Okay, so you can see now this picture is slowly building up. Every time I become a partial avatar in something, that picture will get a little bigger. If I lose any points of virtue in something I'm already a partial avatar in, it will remove that slot. We'll say, thou hast lost an 8th. 30 moves, okay. And if it does that, then you have to go back and remeditate at that shrine. Pass some time here. MP still too low. There we go. See, watch it. We'll say, mind is still weary from thy last meditation. I use quit and save to check. 3, 4. Should be able to do it now. 3 cycles. So lost about a minute by meditating when I wasn't ready. Darn. But it is what it is. I often forget to do things or do things in the wrong order or something like that when I'm doing a marathon run. Partly because you just have to improvise sometimes. There's so much RNG in the game. Like I said, I wasn't going to do another 8 fights with demons just to get 1 point of valor. There are better places I could have gone to get that other point of valor, but I went the wrong way. I should have gone to gate 2 instead of to gate 5. All right, so that takes care of sacrifice. I need to do 3 remainder. I need to make sure I've got enough magic points. Cast 1, 8, travel 4, 6. This is the town of Yu, hidden in the woods. And here is Jonna. She'll join me. Now, I really don't want to get fights. I don't know if you noticed, but when I was fighting all those demons on the overworld, I got only 2 per... Thank you, that's Vorpal. He often gets in the way. I often got, at most, 2 demons per fight. The maximum size of a random encounter is 1 enemy... or is 2 enemies per party member. So now that I've got 4 party members, random encounters could be as much as 8 enemies. I would really rather not get random encounters, because 8 enemies takes more time to kill than less than 8. And yes, they can go up to 16. The other challenge you can run into is that... what you could see when I was fighting the demons, when I was grinding there, every so often a Balron would show up. There will always be at least 1 enemy of the type that you encounter. So if I encounter an orc, there's always going to be at least one orc. There's a chance for every other creature created that an upgraded version will be there. So a troll for an orc, or even an Etten. If you're fighting trolls, you can run into demons. If you fight Ettins, you can run into demons or Balrons. Skeletons can come with mages. Magic points, Gate 2. Step over here, blink south, blink west. Jeffrey is poisoned and dying. Oh no. I'm not overly worried about this. This is actually a good thing, believe it or not. I want all my companions dead. Doesn't seem very nice, but this is what we're doing. Combat is a lot faster if I only have to worry about one character. So I'm going to work to get all the other ones less alive than they are now. Let's say. Blink over there. And we're going to blink from here, which puts me right here. The Shrine of Compassion. For 3 cycles. All that running away from guards got my compassion back up, which is where I want it. Okay. Move. And once this is done, we got one more to do, honor, but we have to make a little detour here to get the Candle of Love. You light the candle, you have yourself a lovely little night. Little candle of romance. I don't think that's the kind of love they're talking about. But, the romantic candlelit dinner is important as well. No, we're going to light the Candle of Love. That's one of the things we need to do to get into the Abyss. Same thing with ringing the bell and reading from the book. We're going to go over here. We're going to step up one more. We're going to blink over here and enter the village of Cove. Hard to find. And then we go up here, step in the fire, and find ourselves the Candle of Love. Took a long time to walk through that fire. And now we're going to gate to 6 and blink north. This is Trinsic, the final town we visit except for the other 2. The final rune we'll pick up, though. It's the Rune of Honor. We're going to get everyone poisoned in these poison fields. There's the Rune of Honor. Thank you. We're going to cure Zack, because we don't want Zack to die. Everyone else can kick the bucket. That's fine. We're going to cast Blink West, Blink South, and Blink West. Check my move counter. Yeah, it should be fine. Honor 3. Right, this will give us the 8 parts avatar. Give us that nice little Ankh picture there. Once we are the 8 parts avatar, we can find the Mystic Arms and Mystic Armor. If you're not the 8 parts avatar, even if you search in the right place, you won't find anything. Which is unfortunate, because Mystic Arms and Mystic Armor are real good. The way the game calculates damage is interesting. It adds your strength bonus, which I believe is just in this game, you straight up your strength. So my strength is a number between 15 and 50. So it just adds up to that number, plus a bonus for whatever your weapon is. And that creates a maximum. So if that total is 60, then you do between 0 and 60 damage every time you land an attack. So we're going to head over here. This is where we left our boat, but we're not getting on our boat. Our boat's down there. We're not getting there. We're going to go blinking our way through these little islands. They're called the Valorian Isles. And on the Valorian Isles, we'll find the castle that we have yet to visit. It's called Serpent's Hold. There it is. And open the door into the academy. We go under the D, Mystic Weapons. Weirdest bingo game I've ever played. Now, the Mystic Sword has an automatic, or has a damage value that hits the cap. It doesn't really need to consider your strength. It's just 255. So we're going to blink west, blink south. We'll head to Empath Abbey, the other castle we haven't been to yet. This is where we'll find the Mystic Robes. If you are not using if you're not using a weapon that's at least magic, you can't actually hit enemies in the Great Stygian Abyss, which is our goal. Now, we need to get our last levels. We need to be level 8 in order to finish the game, because we need to get our last 2 companions, and we can't do that unless we're level 8. So we'll climb up here. We'll go talk to Lord British again. Bam, level 8. And we'll head over here. We'll descend. I don't need to do anything more for my virtues, though my food is draining fairly quickly. We'll take care of that in a moment. Head over here to Phase 7. This is Scarabray. This is where we find Chamino the Ranger. Chamino is also Richard Garriott, the creators. There's our food taken care of. Richard Garriott, the game programmer. Chamino Saldacil was his character for the Society for Creative Anachronism, which is a lot of his friends showed up in this game, including himself. There we go. We will gate to 6. Yes, we're ready to go now. Blink south. Blink south again. And there's our boat. Head down to here, this spot exactly. Cast a wind from the north. Sail to the east. And we're coming in on the final dungeon. Not a bad move count. Actually, really good move count. As soon as I move in here, pirates appear. If the wind is from the north, we can sneak through. It's better if it stays from the north, because then we don't get slowed down. But that's all right. I made it through anyway without fighting the pirates. Through that little swamp, and this is where we threw Wandaine's skull earlier. And we go into the fire, and we use, in the proper order, the bell, which rings on and on, the book, which resonates with the bell, and the candle, which opens the earth. Now we're in the great Stygian abyss. We cast a quickness spell, and run through here. Come on, quickness, do me some favors. Those are lava lizards, they're breathing fire at me. That's hydras, they're annoying. And walking through lava. So that's the start of the abyss. We move over here, we're going to cast a couple heal spells. Ah! That's not how I want to do it. Anyway, that's how you can cure without using spells. Alright, now we're going to throw a quickness. We're going to walk down here. We're going to replace a sleep field with a poison field, that way. We'll get poisoned. We'll stay poisoned for the rest of the fight, or for the rest of the game. That's fine. We're going to just punch our way through here with a Dispel. And we'll use an energy field. If I walk into a sleep field and fall asleep, all these demons are probably going to kill me. We tend to want to avoid that. It's a long way back. 1, 2. Bats, I can run away. 2. 1, 2. Spiders, I can run away. Use the stone. It's honesty, and it's blue, and we descend. We turn to the east. We cast a quickness. We try and make our way through some more rooms. South from here. That demon was already asleep. The game doesn't properly reset the sleep condition. When an enemy is killed or you leave a room and it's asleep, the enemy occupying that enemy's slot continues to be asleep. It doesn't actually get released. And since it never gets any turns, it doesn't check to be released either. Okay, here's some quiet rooms. We're going to cast a couple heals here. Pass a few turns, get my magic points back. I don't want to walk right through the middle of this room or it will release those demons and I'd have to... Well, I wouldn't have to fight them, but they're annoying. Valor... Oh, try spelling it properly. It would help. Red. Descend. Go east. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Turn north. 1, 2. Go east. 1, 2, 3. Gremlins. I have to fight them. Here's a tremor spell. Cast a quickness. Step in here. Going to cast a tremor. And an undead. And hopefully that will get rid of... At least keep them out of my way. Check my points. Oh, I've got to wait for some points to come back. Because I need a tremor spell for the next room. Quit shooting at me and run away. Jerks. Okay, there we go. Enough. 30 points for tremor. Boom, tremor. Not a great one, but not bad. Main point is they get out of my way. Range, Stone of Justice, we go south. 1, 2, 3, 4. We turn this way. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's a tremor. Now I got a problem because I don't have enough magic points. Here we go. Tremor. Got one of the Zorns. There's 2 Zorns, so I can't cast any more spells. That's all right. I got to wait for that Zorn to come down and get me. They can walk through walls, which is a weird quality, but okay. Come on. There we go. I have to fight him. There we are. And now I can once more cast spells, so I can dispel that. I can walk up through here. I can open that door. I can wait for some points because the next room is the worst room in the game. Potential flashing warning because there's a lot of Reapers and they're going to throw a lot of sleep spells at me. It's really annoying. Here's a quickness. Here's a tremor. Come on, quickness, help me out here. It's not doing much for me. 50-50 can go for you or against you. I need to get to this spot, which will open the wall. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. I can buffer moves. Walk through here, don't care about poison. Step out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ugh. Getting lots of random encounters. There we go. I'm going to mix some more tremors just to make sure I've got enough. Yeah, okay. Use stone. Love and courage is sacrifice. Orange, turn down. 1, 2, west, south, east, and we're in a room maze. So all of these are just rooms. If you enter from the wrong place, you can't actually get through here. But I know how to get in. Yeah, those are storms. You can actually fight them. Here's a tremor. And dispel this. Kill the Balron. Out we go. Check my magic points before I leave. Cast a tremor. Dispel that. Start killing. Watch my hit points. Down under 400. Open that square. Check my magic points. Cast a dispel. If I don't have enough magic points to use the spell I cast, it still uses up the reagents. We're going to wait here for a bunch of magic points. I regain 1 magic point every turn, no matter what I do. Whether I pass, move, cast a spell, attack something, 1 magic point every turn. That should be enough. Don't need to worry about those guys. Tremor! Second tremor. Run away, please. Thank you. Out the door. 1 step east. No place to use them. Yeah. Gonna have to stab some trolls. There. Use the stone. Honor comes from courage and truth, and it's purple. Descend. We'll go north. Take a look. We're going to cast a quickness spell. We're going to move through this room. If I step on that treasure chest, it surrounds me with force fields. If you don't have a way to dispel the force fields, it is a literal soft block. You can't actually get out. Tremor. Wisps teleport around, which is why that thing just appeared next to me. Undead. Undead is turn undead, so like the phantom's going to run away from me now. That's great. Out we go. 1. Tremor. That's just sort of the standard attack spell when you get down this far. Just like throw a tremor spell and ease up, you know. And step 1 to the west, use the stone, spirituality. White, thank you. Pass a bunch of turns here. Descend. 1, 2, turn south, 1, 2, cast a quickness, and we try and get around the Balron, because we need to go south. And we deal with these guys the same way we deal with everything else, by making the earthquake and hurt them. And we stab them with swords. Would you please? Oh, it's going to hide. Go away. Thank you. All right. Now I step in this square. Heal up a bit. Spend some time passing turns. We get the companion room over here. This is a room full of companions. That's what your party should look like if I didn't kill them all off. It's okay if I have to chase these guys out of here. I do need to get my magic points back anyway. Cast a couple heals. Because the next room is the last room. And you want to be ready for it. It is not the worst room in the game. It's just the last room in the game. Magic point maximum is equal to double my intelligence. So 2 tremors. We're going to advance across here. We're going to stab the dragons. Remember, I can't miss. Stepping on this opens the northern exit. We do not want the northern exit. It also opens this secret panel down here, which opens the way on to the east. And here's where we use the stone, humility, black, and we enter the final chamber. I can preload all my answers because it can buffer up to 16 key presses. And the questions always come in the same order. So I'm buffering my answers to get the answer passed on the first possible frame. We're coming in close to the end. So Nick, if you're ready, time will be when I answer the last question, when the word infinity appears on the screen. I'll call it out. But we're coming into the end of the run right now. I'm being very careful about my typing. Making a mistake isn't the end of the world. You can make 2 mistakes. As soon as you make a 3rd mistake, it kicks you back out to the entrance of the abyss. It is actually a very deep game, and it didn't start as a DOS game. It started as an Apple II, and I played it on Commodore 64 as a kid. Okay, ready on time. And time. There we are. You should. It's free on GOG. This game is free if you want an old RPG that's really like the foundation. Thank you very much. Really the foundation of these games. This game is free. 7,267 turns. That's a good count. Anything under 10,000 is acceptable. Under 8,000 is beautiful. So 7,267 turns. I'm very happy with that. Nick, if you're there, what was my time? Curious.
You can't hear me. Yes, you have a time of 59 minutes and 13 seconds.
I think that may be the first ever marathon sub-hour.
Congratulations.
So the funny story about sub-hour, both Phoenix and I were chasing it, trying to figure out who would get there. And one night I opened up stream and I just had a brilliant game. Got under, it was like 58 something. And Phoenix came in, was watching my stream for like the last 10 minutes, and we were having a great time. And then he told me, as I was celebrating, that he had not only beat the sub-hour earlier that evening, but had a better time than me. So I went back in. So not only was the sub-hour beat twice in one night, it was then beat a 3rd time as I beat his record by 15 seconds. And again, using a completely different route. So, I mean, if this is a game that interests anyone, by all means, look it up. It's free, as I said, on GOG. It has been free for like 20 years. It is a beautiful game, and I don't just mean that it looks pretty, but I think it does. But it is it's a really fun game, and if you dig into it, there's lots of conversations to have. I'm just barely skimming the surface when I do the speedrun. There's so many really good conversations to have. There's really good puzzles to solve. The exploration is quite intense. It's well worth your time if this is the sort of game you like. Take your time with it, though. Read the instructions. If you create new character, when you get the books through that scene, it says, you sit back and you decide to open the book of history, and then it gives you in parentheses, you read the book of history. And then the next frame when you hit the button is, no, really, read the book of history. It tells you very clearly what you are supposed to do. Read the instruction manual. And that's from 1985. So even back then, they knew you didn't read the instructions.
Back then, having you read the instructions in that way was an extra form of DRM and piracy control.
It was that, yeah. And it was a bonus. I still have the books from the Commodore edition. They're quite nice little books. Very nicely made. We've got lovely illustrations in them. They came with a cloth map that I still have as well, and an Ankh that we've lost somewhere along the way. But I mean, we've had the thing for almost 40 years at this point, so who knows? But yeah, the books are still, and they're still a decent read. They've got all our notes in them. It's not like they're worth anything. But no, it's been a fun game for me to play for like a long time, and I highly recommend it. Did you want me to show off glitching my way through the abyss, Nick, or would you like to move on?
We are massively ahead of time, so by all means, take it away.
All right, so what I'm going to do is we're going to move through the abyss in a strange fashion. So I'm going to direct open the game. I can't remember if I saved in the abyss at all. I think I did. Okay, so we're going to need to mix a couple spells. I'll show you what happens if I don't turn the sound off. This. There. Yeah, so we turn the volume off. Hey, and a raid, just after I finish the game, a raid shows up and it gets to watch me glitch my way through the walls. So I need, in order to do this, I'm paused. I need to open up my notes to do my proper glitch walk. Thank you, Phoenix. We're going to walk through the walls here. It's great. So I need to mix a few spells. We're going to need to mix some energy fields. And just so you can see what I'm doing, I'm going to mix some light spells as well. We'll just make sure we got enough so I don't have to do it. Okay, we're going to cast light. We're going to go east, 1, 2. We're going to turn north. We're going to cast energy, fire, 1, 2. We're going to run away from the bats. We're going to go 3, 4. We're going to go east, 1, 2. Going to use the stone. That is not how you spell blue. Going to descend down. So what happens here? Cast an energy field spell, and it even says failed, but then it replaces the wall with the energy field because it checks things in the wrong order. Or does things in the wrong order. Phoenix can tell you more, but south 1. So we can even use it to overwrite rooms, like so. I need to move my notes up so I can read it. Descend. We need to go east 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Go north 1, 2. Slimes. Tremor. Get out of here, slime. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a fire field in the wild. We're going to go north 2 and cast an energy field to the east. Use our Stone of Justice. Descend down. And then immediately cast an energy field to the north. 1, 2. 1, 2. Use a Stone of Sacrifice. I'm poisoned. I should switch to using poison fields. Doesn't matter what kind of field you use, it just erases the thing in front of you. 1, 2, 3 to the east, north 1. Stone, honor, purple. Descend. South. 1, 2, 3. Is that the right one? I'm on level 7, yeah. East 1, yes. East. See, failed, but it still does the thing. Virtuality. White. If you want to see what the map looks like, it messes with the map. Normally that would be closed off, but the game generates the gem maps as you and on an ad hoc basis rather than having them programmed in. So there's where the field appeared, and it cut right through a wall. So this is what the map looks like now. I'm going to energy field north. This is what the map looks like now. 1, 2. Oh, tremor. I'm poisoned, so these guys can't put me to sleep, and that's fine. Do I have the points to cast? Yeah. So we just energy field through here. 1, 2. And humility. And then we'll just stop right here. And that's done. And then we just answer the same questions again. So yeah. So that's the any percent. Yeah. So yeah, Phoenix says in the chat, the code has an if locked check if it would fail, outputs failed, and then doesn't exit the function and blithely carries on like it didn't fail. So yeah. So that's how that happens. Thank you again. That was a lovely opportunity. If you like to see games like this, if you like to see me playing the Bard's Tale, I've got a couple of runs of the complete Bard's Tale trilogy coming up for various marathons. I've got a bunch of other stuff going on. I occasionally play the organ, which is the part of my name, right? The organ part of my name on stream. Please give me a follow. If you like this, the Pixel Perfect events, follow them. I think you guys are well on your way to becoming affiliate. It'll be a good time, right?
We certainly are. Thank you so much. That was a really interesting run. I think that's the main thing that draws me to this game is this for a game so old and so old school in its presentation. It as Lighty said in the chat, it's so deep. There's so much to it.
It is. It's very much a philosophical game. There's no bosses to beat except, like I said, the evil within your own soul. It's a real fun game actually. When you play it, about the only thing that when I do a speedrun, I like it to be basically still actually playing the game. About the only thing I'm not doing is having a party and participating in tactical combat, which I actually like as part of the game. It can get real cumbersome when you're fighting 16 enemies with eight allies. It's just it can be real. It can be a real challenge to take care of, and in a speedrun, it's way too slow. Like just trying to manage 8 people's movement is just way too slow. So yeah, so we just let the party members die. We leave them to the end. But if you're actually going through the game normally, if you're not blinking all the way around the overworld, if you answer those questions at the beginning honestly, rather than just picking the ones that are best for the speedrun, you may not get a wizard. So but it's a really fascinating game. I think it's a lot of fun, and I think everyone ought to play. Any RPG fan should play it, definitely.
Absolutely. I did manage to grab the wonderful clip of you describing the fact that it's really good to just let your party members die. That clip is transferring over to our YouTube channel as we speak. If you want to go and check that clip out, or any of the VODs, including the VOD of this run, will be going up on our YouTube channel later this evening. youtube.pixelperfect.events. Don't go anywhere, folks. We still have 2 more completion runs for you this evening. I want to say one last thank you. Please show your appreciation in chat for Organ Mike and his fantastic run of Ultima 4 Quest of the Avatar. We are going to take a short intermission, and when we return, we have got Plywood with a 100% run of Zone of the Enders. Don't go anywhere, folks.